on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
All right. Let's get it on live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster or Pennsylvania, where Byron is traveling somewhere. We'll find out now. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by The Sportscast. Today is July 17th, 2025. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to The Sportscast on all our channels, on YouTube, Twitter, X, and iTunes. And we are streaming on all your favorite podcast streaming channels. Please leave us a rating and a review. It'll help us out tremendously. If you like what you see today, please smash that like button on YouTube and subscribe, get notifications. You can hear all our shows because we are live, and you can see some of our past shows. We'll be coming up to the preseason. We are streaming live every week on Facebook and YouTube, every Thursday at 8 p.m. All right, let's get it going. Mr. Byron Jones, how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing wonderful. Besides baking my brains out in Atlantic City, it's hot.
Where are you at? In Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
And it's hot. Well, I got a story for you. But before we bring that, we have a special guest host, Big Blue Ant, coming to the show. He's been on before. Welcome to the show, Big Blue Ant. How are you?
Good. How are you gentlemen doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Big Blue Ant. He's actually from Trenton, New Jersey, Byron.
Oh, boy. I know Trenton very well. My grandmother lived there.
Okay.
He lives in Philly. He lives in Pennsylvania now.
Yeah. I'm in Levittown near I'm just northeast Philly.
Yeah, right over the bridge. I got cousins that live there.
There you go. Yeah.
I was telling that was the state of College, College, New Jersey.
College of New Jersey now.
College of New Jersey now. Used to be Trenton State.
Yeah.
I played on that
field in Ewing.
I played at Trenton State when they had that turf, and it was not good turf. It was man, I burnt my arms because it was like really cement. There was barely like little binds on it. It was bad.
It just seems like New Jersey in general has issues with any kind of turf anywhere in New Jersey.
We had, especially MetLife Stadium. We had to, we wore sneakers to play because you couldn't wear spikes on that. We'd be sliding, slipping the slide. So we had to keep changing every quarter. But well, welcome to the show. We like to have. And then he was telling us, Byron, that his buddy, was it your buddy or your brother?
A buddy of mine.
A buddy of his has a show, and he was one of the guys that helped getting Leonard Marshall in the Ring of Honor. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
He should have been in there a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was his forefront, what he went with. Like, he should have been there a long time ago. And he was in touch with Leonard Marshall's brother, and they got him. We got close talking, and he got him in touch with Leonard, and we got the petition rolling, and sure enough.
All righty. Yeah, so that was good. And then he said he met Tiki Barber, and he said that Tiki Barber was actually a pretty good guy, no?
Yeah, absolutely. Tiki's a top-notch guy. He's forthcoming. He'll answer any question you have. Like I said, he was on that show. Leonard Marshall was on that show. Gerard Bunch was on that show. It was a good show. Again, my buddy, he goes by Sneaky G-Man. He has a podcast called Make It Count. And he was doing his 300 show. So his 300 show, he had all these guys on. It was a good time. It was fun.
It's awesome. It's amazing how twin brothers can play totally different positions. Like one's a defensive back and one was a running back. I mean, they're not even close.
No.
Right? I mean, and they're pretty much identical twins. No, it's hard to tell them apart.
Yeah.
Right? But not that you have to play the same positions. Don't get me wrong. But if you think about it, look at like the Watts, right? They're all linemen. The Bosas are linemen, and none of them were twins.
Right.
right? So
Right.
so you think you're thinking the same price, but a running back and a defensive back, they're distinctively different, right?
Right.
You're talking a running back is solid, has to take hits, speed and so forth. And then you have a defensive back that has to be a little bit more agile, have
Mhm.
speed, have different types of hands. I mean, there's some similarities to it,
Right.
but for the most part, most running backs that I know that play both sides didn't play running back and D back. They either played running back and linebacker, or running back, something, right, Byron?
Right.
Yep.
So
And just think, one's in the Hall of Fame, and one would have been in the Hall of Fame if he'd have hung on for another year, Tiki. He definitely would have been in
Yeah.
the Hall of Fame now.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, but we don't know. Yeah, it's just interesting because just like you said, you were talking about some of the things that he said lately. He should have probably stayed around a little bit and not be so vocal on some of the things he's done. Um, you know, everybody's done stuff that they regret. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, like he
Um,
said, when we talked to him, we asked him, do you regret leaving that year before they won a Super Bowl? And he says he does, but his body had already started telling him it was time to stop.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, I
he
mean,
he had to listen to his body.
well, running backs usually have to, right? Because if not, they
Mhm.
get the most damage. They're getting hit or hitting at all times.
Right.
Right. I don't think
Absolutely.
there's too many plays that a linebacker takes off. It's like a lineman,
Hmm.
right? A lineman, Byron played defensive line, line. He's either pushing his body against someone, hitting against someone, trying to get through somebody.
Right.
There's always body to body contact as a lineman or a running back.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Byron, would you agree with that?
Oh, without a doubt, because stuff still hurts right now. I still got stuff. I feel like he's pulling apart right now. Put some
Yeah.
crazy.
And no disrespect to the linemen because they're getting hit, they're getting double teamed and so forth. But running backs are getting at least 3 yards deep and going into the contact, right?
Mhm.
So like when you're a Byron, and you know better than I do as you played, but you're already you're going full speed, but you're already up with a lineman, right? They're either trying to chip you, block you, or something. Crackbacks are the worst, right? But
Yeah.
but the running backs at minimum 3 yards or more back. So he's gaining all this speed then to hit someone or to get the ball to hit the hole or so, unless he's doing a roll, a wheel route, right? If he's doing a wheel route, but how many wheel routes are you going to do in a game?
Yeah.
Right?
Many.
You're not going to do a lot. So
I mean,
I
a
just
lot of because I played offensive line in high school, and a lot of people don't also realize like the running back isn't just taking a beating from the defense; it's sometimes taking it from his offensive line too, because sometimes that hole's not open. He's got to open it up, so he's banging into his guys as well.
yeah. Well, unless you're Philly, you got the push, the tush push. So
Yeah.
now you're running into the lineman, and then someone's pushing you from the back, so you're getting sandwiched. Then we can
Hmm.
talk about that one later because I had a big debate with a Philly fan, and that's always open up the debate. But I think Byron and I at least agree with that one. We'll talk about that a little bit. But all right, so let's get one of the. He's got a big banner up here. 6 New York Giant veterans who could lose their jobs in training camp. The kicker, Graham Gano, which I'm not a big fan of. DT Roy Robertson Harris. Linebacker Kevin Thibodeau. Really? That's an interesting. We got to talk about that one. Could lose his job. I can't imagine him losing his job. I would think he'd get traded. I think he's not going to lose. To me, losing your job is going to get cut. So I don't know if that's what Santiago was putting. Our producer put this up there. Offensive lineman Greg Van Rotten and tight end Daniel Bellinger. I'm surprised with Bellinger and quarterback Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito's time has got to be due. I mean, God bless him. Hey, I would have taken it if that was me. But your time has come, buddy. So let's go. Which one you want to start with, Byron?
Let's start with Thibodeau first. That's the biggest name on there.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
no
agree.
doubt. He's the biggest name. So I can't see him losing his job. I think he'll be traded, right? I don't. Out of all these people, he's not going to lose his job. I mean, it's safe to say if you had to pick Tommy DeVito, again, nothing against the young man, but I could see him being cut To me, getting cut is losing your job.
Right.
Is that a fair statement, Byron?
Yep. Well,
Right.
like with Thibodeau,
But when you
you
get
figure-
traded, you're not losing your job. You're just going and getting a job somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, you figure like with Thibodeau, he just signed like what they picked up his 5th-year option. So, that's a ton of money. And after TJ Watt signed for a ton of money, and you got Micah Parsons getting ready to get a ton of money, are the Giants, I don't think the Giants could invest, $40 million, $40 million plus, somebody that really, he's been hurt a couple of times, and he's not how do you want to call it? He's a good player, but he's just not that guy where you can depend on him, getting that, sack when you really need it.
How much is his 5th-year option?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
But first of all, he's not even in the range of TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. I mean, he shouldn't. He's not even in the same conversation with those guys, right? So if there's anything. Again, this is my opinion. If there's anything, he's now. We had stated the other day, if we can get him, Leonard Williams, Carter, and they do well, he's got a chance of making some good big money if he steps up to the plate. I mean, this is his opportunity to get the bag, right? Because we're only picking up his 5th-year option. Then if he wants to get traded or he wants to get more money, here it is. But he goes somewhere else. No one's going to pay him that money.
No, that's why again, like you said, when it comes to Kayvon, I don't see them cutting him because I know there's a clause, again, like Byron said, they just signed him to, picked up his 5th-year option. So it would have to be a trade somewhere for whatever at this point. But to just cut him, it just doesn't make any sense.
Welcome to the show, our producer and Mr. Santiago Leon. We're picking apart your banner here. Between being cut, being traded. So, and he's gone. You're the producer when you can just jump in the show.
Yeah, I think the Robertson Harris thing, I think that has a lot to do with the rookie Darius Alexander. From what I'm understanding, what I've heard, he's doing really, really well in the mini camps and stuff, and they're really high on him.
Mm-hmm. Look. From what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, defense is starting to round itself out. That's why I would like Thibodeau to stay at least one more year, right? Byron mentioned the other day, reports are coming out that when they were putting packages together with him, Abdul Carter and Williams, and that these guys were like at the quarterback at the same time. It was just too hard to cover 3 guys. Now, again,
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns.
Yeah, Leonard Williams plays in Seattle.
Yeah, he's gone.
Who said Brian Burns?
That's the 3rd guy for the Giants.
That's the 3rd guy, yeah.
No, but who's the DT? Who's the defensive tackle?
Oh, Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence. That's what I meant. You can tell I got to have. I was talking about Dexter Lawrence. Right, here we go. Santiago, you ready? Are you there? Are you traveling with Byron and you got bad internet?
Oh, geez.
Can you hear us?
Santiago.
I don't think he hears us.
All right. Anyways, that's what I meant. I was talking about the defensive lineman, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I like Thibodeau to stay, right? Because then maybe it gives him a chance to really develop and be around better players. Remember, sometimes the better players you're around makes you a better player. Right. So It would be nice for him to be around. But again, I don't think he's cut. Roy Robertson, hey, I think I agree with what you're saying. Gano, I'm not a fan of Gano. He's missed too many field goals for my liking. Right. So let's get him out there. We need to get points wherever we can get them. Right.
Absolutely.
If we can't get them on the field goal, you got to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just got to go. We need points, right? We had a tough time scoring as it is. We need with field goal, with kickers now hitting, 50s like an average, hitting 55, 60, some of them hitting 70. You got to put up points, Right. So kickers, to me, you should be able to find a kicker and go somewhere else. Bellinger, I'm pretty interesting with Bellinger. Would be the next guy I was pretty interested. What are we replacing Bellinger with? I kind of like Bellinger.
So do I.
Theo Johnson, the kid from Penn State.
Yeah.
Theo Johnson. They also re-signed Mannheim too.
Yeah, him. And then they're pretty high on the kid they drafted from Nebraska.
Oh yeah, I forget his name. I know who you're talking about.
But Bellinger's one of those other players I think we can trade, right? We got to start being able to use some of our capital, right? Like, and our capital are players. There are players you got to cut. I don't think we can make a trade for Tommy DeVito.
No.
He's unless he goes to Philly, right? He's got to go to a place where there's some paisans. Right?
Yeah.
Outside of that, you ain't going to Milwaukee. You're not going to Minnesota. You're not going to, So unfortunately, Tommy, maybe your time is due. But God bless you. Playing for the Giants for several years, making $1 million. That's a dream come true. Cutlets. That's a drink. I would take it in. Yeah. Right, the average life of an NFLer is 3 years. He's made it to the average, right? Byron, how long you got to be in to get a pension?
4 years. 4 years.
How many? 4?
4 years. 4 in the fourth game of your fourth year, or whatever it is now.
Right. Is there a certain amount of games you got to play, or you just got to be on a roster?
Seasons. Yeah, you got to be on a roster. Yeah.
For the seasons. All right.
What they're going to do with him is put him on a practice squad. If he can, goes through waivers or whatever, they'll throw him right back on the practice squad. Because not nothing bad about the guy, but who else would really pick him up to be, the second or third string quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, again, it goes back to how upset I was with the guy who shall be nameless for you, and Daniel Jones. I mean, you got 2 massive players. We got 0 for these guys.
What's
0? We didn't get any money. We didn't get any draft picks. We didn't get anything. Yeah. So, Mr. Leon, are you available now?
I am available. I just had an issue with my Mac. Had to restart. Now I'm back 100%. Rockets are on.
Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk.
Nice.
And I thought you were traveling with Byron with internet issues.
No, I'm not in Atlantic City, but yeah.
Everywhere Byron goes, it's like they don't like me. Oh, I was going to tell you, speaking about the Heat, right? And not the Miami Heat.
Lillard is going back to Portland.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Okay.
I was talking about the Heat. It was so hot today. This is the first time. This is maybe the second time this ever happened to me. But the first time it happened to me was my fault. My phone was in the sun. But I got in the car. I was going somewhere. I had the map in my car. I was in the middle of talking to someone. My phone shut down because the phone got too hot.
Mm-hmm.
It was just literally your iPhone has to cool down. It's get shot. Bang! It ran out of my map wasn't working. I was cut off by somebody. So
did you get a new one, or you still have that cracked one?
No, actually, you know what? That's a great point. My phone isn't cracked. I was gonna go get a new one.
Okay.
I ended up saving a ton of money by not getting it. I'm not a guy. I used to always want the latest and new greatest phone. But what I didn't realize,
you had the Rolls Royce phone one time, Byron, back in the 90s.
Yes, I had that I had the brick phone. What happened was I didn't realize that the cover that was covering my phone protection was actually tempered, like it was kind of glass.
Mm-hmm.
So what was cracked was the cover. So when we took it off, my phone was perfectly fine. What's cracked is a little bit of the back, but I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to get a new phone for no other reason unless I need it now, right?
No.
And I only got
Apple Intelligence.
It would have saved money, but I don't like the fact that like $1,600, right?
Yeah.
And they don't let you. And they
Who
don't
has
let you
that
pay
money these days.
It's not that they don't let you pay cash for it. I'd rather pay it out. I don't want to be on interest and all that stuff.
Right.
You know what? I'll scrap it. So my phone wasn't cracked when they took it off. So this whole time I'm walking around with look like a cracked phone, and it wasn't. So I'm excited because now I can do all my recordings and I have everything. See, the only back is cracked, but it is good. So what were we talking about? Santiago was the difference between guys in jeopardy of losing their jobs versus actually just being traded. So of the picks that you put on there, we believe that Thibodeau, we can trade for him. I think Bellinger, we could trade for him. I think Gano, possibly we could trade for him. Depends, because they're kickers, right? Kickers always
38 years old. They might trade for a 38-year-old kicker.
He was injured last year, right, Byron?
Yeah. And that is true. That is true, Byron. I was just putting out possibilities, right? But damn, DeVito can be cut easily. and we'll go from there. So that's what we have going on there. You didn't put Byron. What's in the world news or Big Blue Ant? What's in the world of news down where you? Where I'm really south. So any upcoming news with the Giants? How's things going? What are your thoughts?
They start, training camp, next week, and that's it. Everybody's on vacation. Still working.
Rookies started this week. Rookies.
Yeah, rookies Wednesday. Then next week, the veterans.
The vets, yeah. Why is that? Is that because they just get themselves acclimated with the building or something, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, you figure they were already there for mini camp. So they pretty much know what's going on. And what they want to do. They just want to get them in early. It sucks. When you first get there. As far as being a rookie, because you don't know.
Big culture shock.
Oh, it's a big difference. Then when the veterans get there, then it's really a big difference because they know the ins and outs as far as doing certain things. But when you first
who's the water boy, where's the towel boy, things like that.
Or everything. You're a mess when you first get there.
Also, I think. Go ahead, Big Blue.
Well, no, I was just saying the question has been posed to me, and I got a little info out of it. Is everybody's talking about the rookies and Cam Scatterboo and, just all those guys. And, you talk about the receiver class, with Darius Slayton coming back, Malik Neighbors going into his second year. The question I pose is, we're not hearing much about Jalen Hyatt. And we all know where he was at the end of the year, kind of like upset with the team and this and that. So I reached out a little bit and found out that apparently Russell Wilson and him have been staying late, practicing a lot together, and Russell Wilson just loves throwing to the kid.
I'm hearing, first of all, Byron brought this up in a few episodes ago about him putting on weight, and he still has massive speed. And then reports have been coming out that he's going to be the breakout player, one of the breakout players this year. He's still, he was I can't believe he was only 165 pounds, right? Yeah. Now he's like 185, and he still kept his speed, right? 185 now makes sense. Now you add 20 pounds, you think you lose a little speed. If you're 200, to go to 220 possibly, right? But if you're only 165 and you go to 185, I mean, you shouldn't lose any speed. So they are saying he could be the breakout. And look, they also said, it's funny that you said that he's working with Wilson. They're saying he is going to be that long ball threat for Wilson, right? And Malik Neighbors is going to be just Malik Neighbors. So that's exciting to hear. Get something off offense. Now the issue is our line, right? Can our line protect the almost out of the league, not for long NFL league quarterbacks that we have, right? For Jackson Dart.
My big surprise is going to be Evan Neal. I think he's going to get a job. He's going to take over a guard spot. I'm riding with the kid from Alabama.
I'm with you. I'm with him. I agree.
Be a road grader.
Oh my God! Please, Byron, since he's played for us, you have dogged that guy out. Since he became a Giant, Byron has just put shade on him every year. So now you think he's going to make a comeback?
Yeah, because you figure, okay, they had him playing right tackle. He couldn't keep up with the speed, of the guys coming around. He couldn't keep up with the speed. And I blame that on the scouting department not knowing that this guy could not play right tackle in the NFL. That's their fault. He's a guard. He played well, when he's at Alabama, he was a guard there, I think his freshman year or whatever. And he was dominant. And then when they moved out to right tackle, because that's where, all the money is, right tackle or left tackle, as far as, the NFL, he's been a mess. And you figured that the scouting department would know what, at Alabama, they had Dallas Turner, they had Anderson, these kids, the edge rusher. You'd figure going to the practices, you would see that he couldn't keep up with these guys. I guarantee he couldn't block those guys down there at Alabama. Then he gets the NFL, and he's like a turnstile. Everybody's running around him, running through him. It was a mess. Put him at guard. It's like being in a telephone booth. He's gonna be dominant, guard. Now he said all pro, but he's gonna be a lot better than what he's been, the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, if you look at his stats speak volumes. Against the pass, he was like almost last in the league. But then you put him up against the running numbers, he was one of the best.
Yep.
Hey, look, for me, hope is still alive. You know what I mean?
Hope alive.
I'll
Hope
keep
alive.
hope alive. I just don't want to feel like I felt for this last
Last 2
several
years.
I mean, but it's been horrendous.
No, 1 year.
It hasn't been just like it's just a bad season. It's just been horrendous.
I mean, you also have to take into factor the big thing, which is he's in a contract year technically.
Yeah.
He's got to show him proof.
He's playing for a contract.
Yep.
Yeah, he's they didn't pick up his 5th year, so technically this could be his last year.
How about that, Byron?
Yep. Well, let's bring up the other guy, the one we paid a ton of money, Andrew Thomas, the one that's hurt all the time. He has to be on the field more because when he was on the field, they were like kind of middle of the pack, out of the line. But once he, fell apart again, they started moving people around, and that's where he has to be on the field all the time. He's paid as a top 5 offensive line, left tackle, so he should be on the field. I understand you get hurt, it happens, but he has to be on the field a little bit more than what he's been.
By the way, DJ Max, Mac, welcome to the show. He's in our comments. He was saying, he made a point. He goes, one of the Watts was a fullback. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah.
Which one?
That's news to me.
The other brother. There's another one. Derek.
There's like 4 of them.
There's 3 or 4 of them.
There's 3 or 4. I know there's at least 3 on the Subway commercials.
Yeah, Derek was the other one that played fullback.
Right. You had JJ Watt, you got TJ Watt.
And Derek.
And Derek Watt.
Contract.
Derek was the fullback?
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for bringing that up, DJ Mac. Yeah, Derek. He told us he corrected it was Derek. All right, thanks for bringing that up. But still, they were brothers, though. They were twins, right? Like, that makes sense, right? That you play different positions and so forth. But again, what we were talking about, Santiago, before you came on was the fact that Tiki Barber and his brother were twins and played distinctive different positions. And then Byron was saying one was in the Hall of Fame and the other one waited 1 year and could have been in the Hall of Fame, right?
Wow.
But let's keep it going here.
According to a book I have, guess who used to be their babysitter at Virginia Tech?
Who? Michael Vick?
No, their father played at Virginia Tech, but Bruce Arians was their babysitter.
Oh, really?
Really?
Did not
Their
know
kid
that.
that I read, yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Babysitter and like what? Like actual babysitter? Why would you have a man babysitter?
Yeah, little guys. Yeah, when they're little people. Yeah. Bruce Arians.
What was Bruce Arians doing?
He was playing at Virginia Tech. He was a quarterback.
Oh, this was before his coaching days. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Way
Interesting.
They.
Yeah, with his LA Cool J hat.
Oh, don't make fun of my man. That's my guy, man.
Your kangaroo hat. All right, let's keep it going here. Anything else with Giants? What's happening? Everything seems to be quiet. Well, we're gonna go to Dallas next. Philadelphia.
Big Blue might have some insight on Giants. Anything else?
Nah, right now it's quiet, and I like it that way because when there's a lot of talk swirling around the Giants, it's never good news.
You see Russell Wilson at Knicks games. So we're not seeing that.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll take it.
Well, we were by the way, Big Blue. Maybe you see we can answer this. I think last week we were talking about 2 weeks ago. We were talking about Russell Wilson. Starts off with the facade of being a good guy and all this, and then all of a sudden he starts changing. So, are you hearing any of that over there? It's funny. So, somebody brought that up. I think
isolating figure in the locker room, something like that. Joey brought that up, right? From Bag of Donuts. Yeah. Joey Bag of Donuts brought that up. Because all of a sudden, then guys start, his personality starts changing as the season goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think and hope that Coach Dayball will keep that in check a little bit. But again, to me, it's like another situation where you put him in the right system, and this goes for. I mean, you could even talk about Daniel Jones. Like, he could end up being in the right system this year and actually look good this year. Who knows?
Indianapolis.
But it's another situation of you put a guy in the right position. All of a sudden the ego goes away because he's finally on the same page with his coach, with his team.
Right.
You get things like positive. That. And the fact that you're not hearing anything about the ego right now, again, it's a good sign.
Yeah, and that is you're not getting paid $37 million anymore.
Yeah.
Right. That kind of, you know, a little
humbles you.
A little humbles your ability. And
eat some humble pie.
I would think after winning a Super Bowl, possibly 2 after a bad call, you know, you don't want to get out of the league with, you know, a bad reputation. If you want a chance to make it to the NFL to the Hall of Fame, right?
And again, like I said earlier, you know, this is a guy that's working on a 1-year contract. He's got to show and prove he's still that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but you know, yeah, he's not gonna get paid $50 million. That's for sure. All right, let's go back to Dallas. Micah Parsons, they're in the contract note. It's getting complicated. What's getting complicated, Santiago?
Well, it got complicated today because TJ Watt got extended today for 3 years, $223 million blockbuster deal, meaning Parsons could get paid more than that, right, Byron?
Yeah, that's what usually happens. He wants $1 more. So yeah, Jerry Jones messed this up. He should have hurried up and signed him before TJ Watt.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad.
Yep.
I said Jerry Jones makes no sense. He waits the longest amount of time to sign players to win one playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he negotiates with the players, not with the agents. He goes directly to the players.
Yeah, well, a lot of them, because he drafts them, so he has like a little kind of kindred spirit for them. You know what I mean? He drafts them. That's why he has a hard time getting rid of them, because he's the one who picks them. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think TJ Watt's worth it. Micah Parsons worth it, but you know, he's going to end up paying a lot more money, you know, than he possibly could have. He could have got, you know, but he was going to still be in the same range of Myles Garrett. Right. And we don't know that if Jerry Jones was the one that was stalling it or was it Micah Parsons? Because Micah Parsons to me is he something special, right?
I'd really like to see what their payroll is for all the guys on that team, because they do have a lot of, you know, either stars or, you know, former stars that are still, you know, pretty decent going. And then you got to take into consideration that they just brought in George Pickens from Pittsburgh. Yeah, so, and again, we all know he's an ego. So him and CeeDee Lamb will be fun to watch. But again, you know, it's a matter of, you know, like you said, Jones waits so long to spend the proper money that he ends up having to overpay for guys. So what's that leave him the following year? You don't know.
Well, listen, just between CeeDee Lamb and Dak, they take up, I think, 53% of their cap. Right? So that's a lot of money. And now, Byron, we were talking about you got Micah Parsons. You just picked up Pickens. I mean, I don't know how they're going to structure these. They're either going to be just throwing tons of money on upfront money. Something's going to. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Well, you figure Pickens is playing for a contract. Have they paid Stephon Diggs? Yeah, has he gotten paid? I don't know. And you figure Zach Martin retired, so you know that's a little money there. But they have those 3 guys, the 3 Tylers. You know, over the next 2 or 3 years, they're gonna have to pay them too. You know, as well, because the one kid from Tulsa, Tyler Smith, has been all pro or all this the last few years, so they have to pay him too.
Yeah,
man, they got and all that money for a very low producing team.
And again, that's just the dead cap hit.
I mean, it's it's just terrible. I mean, I don't know what's going on. All right, well, let's move on. We got TJ Watt, we got Micah Parsons. What do you got here? Something we got here. Okay,
let's go to the criminal cases here.
No, let's go here. Rasheed Rice sentenced to 5 years probation, 30 days in jail for multi-car crash in Dallas. Really? Was he drunk driving?
Mr. Byron, you know the story.
Not really, but idiot driving. Leaving the scene of the accident, probably. A couple other dumb things that he did.
Was he driving a Lamborghini or something?
Oh, was that the guy who ran away from that the car that was being shown? I didn't realize that was Rasheed Wallace.
Rashi.
He got a sweetheart deal because if he had been in New Jersey, did the same thing, he'd have got 10,000 years.
Yep.
He'd have been locked up till his kids went to school.
Yeah. Well, it's Texas. You know, Texas is a little different state, man. You know what I mean? Has he been suspended? DJ Mack wants to know if he's been suspended.
Not yet. The NFL is going to make that decision in a few weeks. How many games? 5, Byron, or you think it'd be more?
6. Yeah, he needs 6 because of the idiot, because he did something stupid. Here, take the 6.
Yeah, make an example out of it.
I'll tell you what, he's going to be traded. You know, Chiefs don't like that stuff.
No.
You know, they're going to get rid of him.
Yeah, well, he was one of the better receivers.
I think he's the best receiver they got.
Man,
right, Big Blue?
No, he's got another. Who's the other? No, they got that speedster. They got that dude that runs like 4.2. What was his name again?
That's him.
Xavier Worthy.
Xavier. That's right. Xavier Worthy.
I thought Worthy was on another team.
No.
Is he? Is he with the Chiefs?
Oh, no, they got him. Xavier Worthy, yeah.
Xavier Worthy's there. He runs like a 4.2.
No, he's still with the Chiefs.
Yeah, he's really good. He's replaced Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, they got one guy.
He's a beast. You got Kelsey. He's going to be okay. You know,
Kelsey's on his
last legs. What'd you say, Byron?
He's on his last legs.
Man, Kelsey, don't make me sick the Swifties on you now.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelsey delivers, man. I just think I think he's gonna, you know, as long as he could get more attention somewhere else, Kelsey.
Yeah, but he kind of didn't look good last year, right?
Big Blue fell off a little bit last year.
Yeah, half a step at least.
Not at the end of the season. The end of the season, he delivered. They said he wasn't doing it all year. At the end of the season, he looked pretty good.
That Super Bowl, he was almost non-existent.
I didn't see him.
The entire Chiefs were non-existent.
That's true too.
The Dallas, the Philadelphia Eagles dominated. The MVP should have went to the defense of the Eagles. It shouldn't have went to Hurts. Dominated right off the bat. Field position, interceptions for touchdowns. I mean, they just crushed them.
Yeah.
Literally crushed them. It was over in the first half. Yes, Byron?
Who told you that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to beat them up? I just want to hear it.
Ooh.
You did.
You fed it to him.
I'm waiting.
You said it. You said it.
Okay, I was just checking.
But remember, when I picked the Eagles against the first time against the Chiefs, that didn't go well for me. And why? Because that idiot defensive coach didn't adjust. They had their best year in sacks. They had 72 sacks, and they didn't even touch. They didn't even rush. They didn't even hurry up or touch Mahomes. Then last year in the Super Bowl, they dominated Mahomes. So that tells you that Fangio made adjustments, right? That defensive coordinator made 0 adjustments. He stuck with the same game plan. You can't have the same game plan against a Patrick Mahomes. So, you know, that's a disaster. Well, let's move on with Rasheed Wallace and go on here. We got Chargers Mike Williams retiring after 8 seasons. That's surprising.
It's a young kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of injuries too, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What's his career earnings, Santiago?
I'm looking for it right now. Go ahead. Hold on.
Hey, 8 years is pretty short for a receiver. You know, and being with the Chargers, you got Justin Herbert, you got a new coach.
Lad McConkey. They got some pretty good receivers.
I think he's made $3 million.
Nah, he had to make more $3 million a year.
Yeah,
he make $3 million. You don't make $3 million.
$1 million.
Yeah. All right, something's wrong there. All right, well, he's still in millions, but all right, let's move on.
I'll look it up.
All right, once again, my DBs are getting paid, baby.
Oh, geez, here we go.
DB's getting paid.
Okay, so give Big Blue.
Come on, let Byron. You tell him. Tell Big Blue why I get excited about that.
Because you were average defensive back in the day.
That is true, but that has nothing to do. That is true. That has nothing to do.
Oh no! You were very good, man. I'm kidding.
That is true, but that has nothing to do with this statement here.
The reason why these guys are getting paid because you're getting all those receivers making a ton of money, so you have to pay the guy that's chasing them all over the field now. So they're all getting paid now.
So Big Blue, a couple years ago when the receivers started getting paid, my comment before these backs got paid, I mean, but it just was logic. I mean, to me, it was logic. How do you have two guys competing one against the other, making 70% more? That's not going to happen. I mean, you're not going to get to the receiver level because it's an offensive league, but there ain't no way you're going to have that disparity in salaries. When you're paying someone $37 million, you are not going to pay me $12 million to cover a $37 million guy, and I'm actually doing a pretty good job. Right.
No, I agree
so
with
I
that.
was like, naturally, the defensive back position is going to go up. And I also predicted the running back position is going to start coming back because of what Saquon did. Even though Byron don't like that name being mentioned on the show. Okay. But Sauce Gardner, and we talked about Sauce Gardner, right? We talked about him. We talked about, and then they all started getting paid. I mean, I was an agent. I would say, hey, don't expect my guy to be covering that $30-something million receiver, and you're paying him $12 million.
It's a really nice contract because, last year we're going into Gardner's third year, and then last year, he went into a little bit of the sophomore slump. I mean, he wasn't horrible. He was still decent, but he kind of slacked a little bit last year. I don't think he was as good as he was the first year.
But look at these numbers. This is annual. What's API? Annual pay per year? What is that?
I would think so. Yeah.
All right. So look, this is exactly what I was saying. You got 30, 20, 35, 25, 24. That makes sense. They were making way less. They were making half of that. There's no way an agent's or a person themselves is gonna say, you're making me pay this guy. You're making me play against a guy who's making 3 times the amount of me, and I'm doing a pretty decent job. At least holding them to, whatever. Maybe a guy will blow me up one game, but I'm picking up all these other guys another game, right? Someone's got to cover them, because if not, they would score on every time to touch the ball. Right. So good for Sauce Gardner. I like when defensive players get paid, right? Because the league is just harder for defensive players. Right. The league is not geared anymore for defensive players. And as a defensive back, it's even worse. Right. You can't, don't get me wrong, though. I say that with kind of hand,
with a humble heart.
With a humble heart, right? Good point. Is because some of the refereeing on these officiating on some of these non-calls on defensive back have been bad. These blatant pass interferences have been bad. But on the other side,
New Orleans.
Yeah, that was terrible. And then, but being as a defensive back is you got to be careful. I mean, it's impossible. These guys are ducking their head to try to hit. Like everything's changed on what our traditional. Like Byron, you're coaching football. If you're teaching how to tackle, how do you teach how to tackle now?
With a round looking thing like a tire. That's what you hit now. It's very limited, at the high school level and up, as far as how much hitting you can do. So, most of the time you're using a bag, man. You're not really putting, bodies on bodies at all.
Well, when I played, we were taught like put your face back, into the chest. Numbers. Look at the numbers. Boom, head to the ball, right?
No more.
Turn, right? The problem is when you do that now, and the guy ducks, you're hitting him in the head. Right. And if you launch, it's even worse. Right. So, these guys are getting low. And then when you went from low, you had to worry about hitting them low, hitting the knee. It's like it was numbers. Go to the chest. Boom. Ball side. Numbers. Ball side. Always wanted to put your helmet, your face mask on the ball side. Right. And now you got to be careful, And then I see some of these defensive backs, I should have tackled that way, where they weren't even wrapping up. They're just trying to hit below. You know what I mean? They're just hitting, right? And so I don't know, but good for Sauce Gardner and defensive backs getting paid. Let's go. What do you got here? Something. Von Miller, man, he's still.
And it's the East changer, game changer.
Who's this?
Von Miller signs
with the Commanders.
I don't know. I'm good with Von Miller with this whole situation. I'm getting LeBron James vibes. Let me go where the talent is.
That's a good take.
Yeah, I mean, he's a veteran. He's won a Super Bowl. It's not bad to go to.
He can still play. I'll give him that.
Does that move the needle for the Commanders?
I think it helps the Commanders. Remember, I picked the Commanders to win the NFC East.
Wow.
Who's your pick, Big Blue?
You're going to put me on a spot. I hate to say it. I think Philly's going to repeat.
No, it's safe. That's a good pick. I mean, it's fair.
Look, the only thing is I'm going with numbers. I'm a blackjack guy, right? In 20 years, no one's repeated. Right? 20 years, no matter how good
it change sometime.
It does, but I'd rather go with the numbers, right? Which is, I'm saying it's anybody other than the Eagles. I'm not saying the Eagles are not going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying the Eagles don't have a chance to repeat the Super Bowl champion. I'm just saying, these guys are going to step up and someone's going to win it. Byron's got the Giants winning the NFC East.
Of course.
Listen, as long as we don't finish last, I'm okay with it.
It's a tough conference, though, because Dallas could be, Dallas is you don't know what you're going to get out of Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. I think Dak is
the Cowboys the most unpredictable?
Cowboys are the most unpredictable in the NFC East.
Yep.
Wow. They could be hot or they could be cold. Right.
Well, they go.
Giants are predictable. They're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think when all their home Cowboys, games, when it comes to the Cowboys, they go how Dak goes.
Yeah,
I just feel that when Dak's on, they're playing well. They get long streaks, 4, 5, 6 game streaks, and they're doing what they should be doing. But then
and he did recommend the coach to
hit a couple times, and he's throwing picks. He's running with the ball, getting sacks.
But I think that injury did something to him because
absolutely.
Because to me, he's doing more checkdowns than he's ever had, and he's got great receivers. Mm-hmm. So for him to do some more checkdowns, like he's not throwing downfield, he's looking to get rid of that ball. So I don't know if he's getting maybe this injury is getting him time to watch enough film to see that you're checking down too much, right? Mm-hmm. And Dallas is a downfield offense, right? They want to go down. Right, they're superstar. Let me put up some points, right? And I don't know if it was his injury that made a difference, but
was it his hand or his hamstring
when he got hurt?
Yeah, last year.
It wasn't his. I think last year was his hamstring. Before that was
his hand, his wrist.
His hand, right? His wrist, right? Oof. With cornerbacks getting that money, which side would Hunter play? If I was Hunter, I'd play receiver. They're still getting paid way more money, DJ. You know what I mean? The receivers, average salary for receivers, a lot higher than the defensive back.
What do you think, Blue?
No, I agree. Hunter, he should be playing defense. He's a much better defender than he is wide receiver, in my opinion. But again, he's looking to play both sides. I mean, if you can get him to be a two-way player and be productive at both ends, you're looking at possibly one of the highest paid players in the league in the future.
Yeah, I just don't think. What do you think about that, Byron?
Yeah, they're going to get out. Okay, he wants to be. He's a great athlete. Okay, being a great athlete and great football player, two different things. What they're gonna do with him? They're gonna run go routes all the time when he's on defense, and he's gonna be chasing these guys all over the field. He's gonna be tired, dog tired, because the speed of the NFL and when he played at Colorado is totally different. Two different things. So as far as him, being playing both sides of the ball, I don't think it'd be good. Go on the offensive side, be a weapon for Trevor Lawrence, who needs another weapon, on offense. But both ways.
You think the Jaguars will let him do both?
Of course, because that's what he wants. He threatened not to play at all. I can't play. Try both. I'm not going to play.
It'll 100% be his choice of whether he wants to keep doing that. I think they will try him out in doing that. But like Byron said, that first hit he takes or the first time he ain't beating somebody, he's going to learn, okay, this is different. Maybe I should just focus on one spot.
Big 12.
But I was trying to answer DJ Max's question, like which side
Travis Hunter from the Jaguars.
He was saying with CB quarterbacks getting paid, which side with Hunter play? Will Hunter play? There's two types of arguments here or narratives. One, if you're good enough, right, the side to play would be receiver because on average they're getting paid more,
Right. That's all I'm saying. Right.
More
I'm not saying he's better as a receiver. I'm not saying he's not as good as a defensive back. I'm just saying if you had the two positions to pick and you can play it, you better play receiver. You get paid more.
Receiver, yeah.
Number one. Number two, Byron, I want to see what your thoughts are on this. If he does play both ways, I'm not sure he's going to be paid. Who are you going to compare him to play with? Pay, right? And he's got to wait how many years? 4 years before he can actually get paid big dollars? That's a long time to play two sides of the ball. And to be really good.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, I'm what is it? I am trade. How's the saying go? I know all trades, a master of none or something, whatever that saying goes.
Oh, jack of all trades, master of none. I mean, that's 4 years. That's 4 years. You got to perform. Like, look, those cornerbacks that are getting paid. They're playing really good football on one side of the ball, right? They're playing good for that amount of time. Those receivers, Justin Jefferson, they're putting up some big numbers on one side of the ball. How are you going to do that on both sides of the ball?
When you have like Travis Hunter, he's not a big guy. The guys that get paid, like Sauce Gardner he's not a little corner. Surtain is not a little corner.
6'2". He's a big corner.
Jalen Ramsey, he's not a little corner. These guys have some size to them. And looking at what you see on TV with Travis Hunter, he's not a big guy. And when you have to come up to make that tackle with the run, that's going to take a toll on you. Then you have to turn around and go back on the other side of the offense too after you just a 230-pound running back. Yeah, that's a bit much to ask him to do.
On that chart, you had to go all the way down to Tyreek Hill to match what the cornerbacks are getting paid.
And he's not 100% Tyreek Hill.
Huh?
He's not 100% Tyreek.
And he signed early. Remember, he complained because when he signed, he was he was the highest paid, and then look what happened with everybody else. Right? So I'm just saying that from the money side, I'd play there. I agree with a Big Blue Ant. I think he's a better defensive player. And he can get paid. You just may not get receiver money, and you never know, right? If these cornerbacks start doing something different, it could change quickly. You know how the NFL is, right? Look at the running backs. Running backs are starting to get paid a little bit more because proof is in the pudding. If you have a good running back, it could change. It could change the game. There was a time, they were saying. I remember there's some some of the stories out there that the safety position is going to be going away. Right, where it's going to be pretty much just cornerbacks playing only defense. Cornerbacks playing the multiple positions. Before, the safety was not the fastest guy, was probably one of the best athletes, but wasn't the fastest guy. Had to be the run stopper. Had to be able to protect the deep ball. Now, most of the time you got 5 receivers you're playing against, right, and they're 5 fast receivers. So it kind of hurts a free safety that's not running, as quick as these other receivers, right? It's hard enough to play. Sometimes it's hard to cover a tight end that's fast.
Yeah.
Right? The kids need some rugby experience, cheek to cheek. That's funny.
More physical, I'm guessing that.
All right, yeah. I can't see the banners. Really good, man. Okay, what do you got? All right, let's get into some of you. You got Miller. You got Cheat Mate. Trey Smith. Oh, here you go, Byron. You should like this one. Trey Smith, top paid guard, 4-year, $94 million for a guard.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, he's played well since he got there. With the Chiefs. So you got to pay this guy.
I think this is why. I'm sorry, Byron.
They traded the other guard to Joe Tooney. I think they traded him to the Chicago Bears. So now, this guy, he's the guy, him and Creed Humphrey, that interior where, Patrick Mahomes is not getting, pushed in the face by coming up the middle like that. But, he's earned that money, this kid.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is the reason why these teams are selling percentages of their clubs. Because the payroll is going through the roof, number one. Number two, they're about to let private equity firms come in and get paid. Before private equity firms, they would not let private equity firms come in. I just think the payroll is getting so high. These guys got to get, they're already making money. So it's kind of like, it's kind of weird to say that, but it's almost like,
they just want to take whatever money they can because they got to keep paying these players, right?
Man.
I just don't, again, we're going to go back to watch football. Pretty much we're going to have to pay to watch every game. I predicted this a long time ago. We're eventually going to have to pay. It's going to be pay-per-view to watch the Super Bowl.
Well,
yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Because as it is
Roger
now, you need Peacock, you need Prime, look at all the streaming services you need to watch a few games, right?
The Zone.
Nope.
Well, Red Zone's Red Zone, right?
The Zone, DAZN.
DAZN.
Oh, really?
That's a boxing network.
Yeah.
Well, you got Peacock. It's got games.
Yeah,
right?
Paramount Plus.
You got Paramount Plus got games.
Yeah, but you can see on CBS. It's
right.
Kind of
so but you got Peacock that's literally have games. Thursday night's only on Prime.
Yeah.
Right. Thursday night's only on Prime.
And next season there'll be one game on YouTube itself, just YouTube, regular YouTube.
I saw that.
What do you mean on just YouTube, not YouTube TV?
No, go YouTube.com and watch the NFL game.
Really?
And it'll be the Brazil game too.
Wow.
Chargers versus Chiefs, I think.
Yeah, I might be sleeping through that one.
That time zone gonna be a little bit rough, rough. All right, let's start wrapping this up with some news that makes life a little bit easier here. Damian Lillard going back to the Blazers. That's just he's already injured. He got cut by Milwaukee. You know why he's going there, right? He just wants to retire there.
Yep.
He should have never left.
No.
That was a bad move, man. He should have never left. That was his place. So, I'm happy he's going back there because that's where he should end it. I just wonder how the Blazer fans are going to are they going to open arm him or are they going to, you know what I mean? Because you left us, right? And then now you're in the city, now you're coming back to us. So hopefully, he did well for the Pacers. So he's deserving of some love there, but he kind of left them. He left them, and there was no even other NBA players are saying that was just a no-win move, right? You go there, and now Giannis wants out, and then you get hurt. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip over that soccer stuff. Who has retirement? Wow, didn't he just get a contract though?
The documents saw
he played like the last 2 years,
huh?
I don't think he played the last 2 years, too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he retire 2-3 years ago?
Yeah,
you haven't seen him, and I thought legitimately at one point over the last couple of years that he said he was going to retire during one of those years.
Yeah, he played for the Eagles in 2022, and that was pretty much it. So I guess it's just actually he has to turn in the papers, right, Byron?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got his fax.
So get his unemployment. All right, former Eagles. A prayer to the families of Brian. Brahman dies from cancer. That's just terrible. Wow. 38 years old. So prayers out to the family. I never, anybody. It's always sad. So prayers to the family. 38 years old is young.
Yeah,
and he's raising money online. So if you can help him out. For his treatments and everything. So
it said dies. What treatment is he going to have?
No. To pay for his hospital bills that he went through this past couple of years.
Oh, they're raising money to pay for the expense of
the expenses. So
of going to
Brian Brahman. Yeah, he played for the Texans and the Eagles. I'm not sure if Mr. Jones remember him, but
he was there to win that Super Bowl.
Yeah. 2018? No.
The NFL has terrible insurance when a player retires. It only a buddy of mine was telling me it takes care of extremities only, but doesn't take care of other pieces. So you have insurance for life, but it's not like it's not great. You know what I mean?
Just for a bruise.
It's for nothing internal. All right. Cancer is tough and super expensive. Again, all right, and you got the Bears. Let's see what you got. Chargers. All right, what do you got? Anything good here? Najee Harris is injured in fireworks. Is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal.
This is like the other NFL player. There's another one. The guy from the Giants had that issue.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, blow off his finger. Here in Miami. They were both in Miami.
Yeah.
Who?
Najee Harris and
JPP.
the other guy.
Yeah.
JPP.
Okay, here you go. Santiago want to have a question of the day. All right, let's go. We're gonna go with our guest, Big Blue Ant. If you won the lottery today, what's the first thing you would do? Quit your job, travel the world, buy your dream home, invest, or save it all?
Or invest, save it all. Both one answer.
I would probably do the last two. Buy my dream home and then invest the rest and save it all.
Well, buying the dream home is an investment.
Yeah, true.
So
don't say that to MC Hammer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't quit my job. I need the benefits.
Don't confuse buying. It depends on what your dream home is, Big Blue. I'm just saying to you, and Santiago, don't confuse getting. You got the money to get a big house. The maintenance of a house alone, if you got this big mansion, could be 20, 30 grand a month.
Yeah, lawn care, everything.
Okay, it's everything. You're not going to be cutting the grass when you got a big old lawn. So you buy a house, and then you invest. Okay,
yeah, but that's all based on perception. To me, a dream home doesn't necessarily mean a mansion.
I'm just saying when you say dream home, I'm just in theory, these NFL players sometimes go and buy a house and they buy it all cash and they don't realize that later, if they get cut 2 or 3 years later, the maintenance of that house, is you can't sustain it. Right. And then sometimes they stay in it longer than that. Mr. Jones, what would you do besides you buy like another 30
townhomes?
Oh no, what do you call them? Timeshares?
Timeshares in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I got enough of them. I got like 7 of them. Let's see. I quit my job. I'm already retired, so that don't count. I've already been around the world. I got my dream home. I'm good. I'm investing, save it all.
Buy Bitcoin.
No, I ain't buying them. Gold.
San Diego, what would you do, Santiago?
I would invest. I would definitely invest in crypto, some stocks here and there, and yeah, and maybe some real estate.
I mean, if you invest properly, you can do all the rest of those other things.
That's the thing.
Well, I would tithe first.
I
would tithe to the church. That's the bottom line. I would tithe right to the church, or maybe multiple churches, right? Because if there was lottery, it's a lot of money. So it'd be the things I want to do as a volunteer, and then I would definitely invest in. I'd invest in a lot of for me, investing, you invest in multiple things, but I would start buying up a lot of cash flowing businesses. Right? There's a lot of boomers that are retiring and their kids don't want to take over their businesses.
Yeah, I hear that.
So I would consolidate all of those businesses and buy those and then automate as much as I can, because most of those guys want to automate.
Yes, proof already.
Yeah,
proven.
And I know I can do. So I'd do that first. I'd definitely fill up all my insurance policies first, because I'll make sure that most of my money's in insurance policies. Only because I don't know if you guys know, if your money's in insurance policy, it's untouchable. You can't be touched by suit. You can't be touched by taxes. You can't be touched by the IRS. You can't be touched by anything else. So when you have all that money, they're coming to looking to sue you, right?
That's what O.J. Simpson did, right?
That's what a lot of these guys, they weren't able to collect because their money was in policies. You can't go get the money. So that's first. And then I take that money and invest in those businesses, first tie. And then I'll take care of my sisters and my brothers and make sure their stuff is all paid for. And then set up trust for my kids. I'd have, but my trust for my kids would be set up in a manner of that it's going to be based on their ability to how much they can earn. They'll be able to take out what they can earn. So I want them to be able to go after money as opposed to being given it to them. Anyhow, that's what I would do. So that's a nice dream. That's a good way to end our show. All righty, hold on. I had to take this back off. Big Blue Ant, tell us about how we could reach out to you and your show coming up. And by the way, he's got a good idea. They take a break for the summer at Santiago.
Who does? Oh yeah. Well, we gotta keep the oil, get the machine, keep it going.
Well, did you?
got a comment from DJ Mack about Judkins. I'm not sure who that is.
The running back from Cleveland, the one that got in trouble for whatever he did, another but domestic violence.
Oh,
man. Yeah,
I haven't heard much about it.
He
was a second-round pick for Cleveland. He played Ohio State on the team that won the national championship last year, and he got in whatever situation he got in. Not keeping his hands to himself. So now, he got arrested for domestic violence, and he hasn't signed a contract. So it could be a mess with this guy.
Yeah, that's not good. Not good.
Keep your hands to yourself. That's the best way to think. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yep.
Big Blue Ant, tell us how we can get a hold of you. Tell us a little about your show and go from there.
I usually talk Giants. I'm going to start my show back up right before the season. It's called Extreme Blue, XTREAM, the play on streaming. Extreme Blue, you can check that out. I'll probably be starting that early September. You can reach me on pretty much any social media platform at Big Blue Ant 72. That's YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much everywhere. It's all the same, all lowercase, Big Blue Ant 72, all one word, all together.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for joining our show. We'd like to have you back when the season gets started.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Hey, check out everybody check out the link below. Link to the show, Santiago. I'm sure we'll have that in there. Have it to our show. And let's have a good night. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining the show. Santiago, it's always welcome to see you come on the show. You help out tremendously. Let me be me. Today I was a little bit more reserved.
I'm tech support.
Yes, I'm more except for when you started.
How's the beard? Is it gonna shave anytime soon, or?
I gotta get. I'm at a number where I want to be from a business standpoint. So it's one more goal I have to hit. Then I'll
September-ish, October.
I don't know. People give me compliments with this. I don't know.
It looks good.
I kind of like it. I'm usually clean shaven. So, but people have liked it. So I gotta figure out. It's expensive to keep up, though.
So the barber charges you an extra $15, I think.
It charges me more than that. So, I got to figure out how to do it myself because this grows faster than your hair. Like my haircut's every 3 to 4 weeks. I got to keep this clean almost every 2 weeks. It's not easy. You know what I mean?
Any suggestions, Byron?
No, I ain't worried. I just keep this little bit I got. I was happy, to do this after I retired. So that's it.
Do you keep it clean yourself?
All by myself. Everything. Hair, everything.
Yeah, but let me tell you, not having hair though, that's hard to keep up too. Because you got to either keep it clean or it starts growing a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, little patches of gray. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, well, gentlemen, God bless. Have a great night. Thank you for joining the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. We are live every Thursday. At what time, Byron?
8 o'clock.
8 p.m. But we tell why we do that, Big Blue. Everybody asks us, "Hey man, what time's your show?" We've been running for 6 years. We keep telling you it's at 8 p.m. We even tried to change it for our friends. We went to Wednesdays. That was a bomb. It was our best. It's our best night.
Thursdays
8 p.m. is our. Oh, it's great because when we're finishing Thursday night footballs are starting. We're able to pick. It was great during the NBA playoffs as we were able to talk. So don't forget, every Thursday, subscribe to our show. Gentlemen, God bless you. Have a great night. And you always welcome back, Big Blue Ant. We'll talk soon. All right. Take care, gentlemen.
Peace, guys.
All right.
Peace.